Hello, our dear learners. Good evening and happy Sunday. It is my pleasure to welcome you once again for today's training. This training is being organized by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. It is a free training aimed at empowering community people with the right skills to resolve conflicts at their local levels, at organizational levels, at interpersonal interaction levels. Wherever you find conflict, you should be able to resolve it. And that is the essence of what we are empowering people. For us, this is what we call peace education. And it's one of our core mandates to educate the general public on how to resolve conflict. And we are so passionate about making sure that we achieve peace in our world, in Nigeria, and in every part of the nation. Do you understand? We have different people connecting from different countries to be part of this training, and we appreciate all of you, and we sincerely welcome you for today's training. My name, once again, is Ambassador Joshua Taylor. I am the registrar of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and I have been your privileged tutor for all this while, sharing knowledge with you as much as my strength can carry me, and the grace of God can, helps me to do so. So I would like to welcome all of you for today's training, and I'm hopeful that we are going to learn together. So if you are joining us, let us know where you're connecting from. And I can see Chris from Cameroon. I can see Ezekiel, from where are you connecting? And Jibril Muhammad connecting all the way from Kebbi State, Nigeria. I can see William Stephen all the way from Upper Nile State, South Sudan. Thank you very much for connecting with us today. I can see Bio from Akure, Nigeria. I can see Modombi Katanga from Namibia. It's good to have you join us today. I can see the Holy Ghost Worldwide Outreach Ministry, that is Ambassador Jonathan, connecting from Data, Asaba. Thank you very much for connecting with us today. I can see Ambassador Otu Emmanuel from Cameroon. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you connecting with us today. It's a member of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. It's a pleasure to have you, Oka Patti from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to have you connecting with us. You can see Angela from Akwa Ibom. Angela, it's good to see you. I did my NYC in Akwa Ibom, and I really enjoy Akwa Ibom State. So it's a pleasure to have you connecting with us today. Thank you. Thanks to every one of you that have been taking time to be part of this training, and I hope that you are learning and you are empowering yourself with the skills, the right skills to resolve conflicts at whatever level you find yourself. At family level, there are conflicts that are bedeviling families. There are conflicts that are bedeviling our communities. So it is good that you are connecting so that you can be able to resolve conflicts in your own locality. Do you understand? At your own level, wherever you find yourself, whenever conflict confronts you, whether in business, in wherever you find yourself, you should be able to resolve that conflict. So the program is open for everybody. It's open for everybody. Do you understand? It's not just for people who are members of the institute or who intended to be members of the institute, but everybody who can, confidently resolve conflict with skills. This training is meant for you. So you are highly welcome for today's training, and I appreciate all of you for taking time to be part of this training. It's a pleasure to welcome you. Okay, I have Igor from Upper Nile, that is South Sudan. I have Onyebuchi from Abuja. So I want to appreciate all of you for taking time to connect. Rahman from Lagos, thank you for joining us today. And today we are going to look at, we are dealing with peace and conflict management. And today we'll be looking at Unit 3. We are still in Module 1. The first day we'll look at the Unit 1. We understand what peace is all about. Yesterday, we understood what conflict is all about. So today, which is Unit 3, we'll be looking at peace and conflict theories. What are the peace and conflict theories? All right. What are the peace and conflict theories? So because they are theories that explain why conflict happens, so we will look at those theories in details. We will examine them one after the other. And you have anything you want to share with us concerning it, you can go ahead to do it. Ambassador Cecilia, it's a pleasure to welcome you. Yusufu Liwa from Nairobi, Kenya, thank you for joining us. Ambassador Tijani Ibrahim from Medugri, it's good to have you connecting with us today. Thank you. All right, so that's it. So we're going to look at those theories. What is a theory? Theory is um it's a kind of perspective that explains why certain things happen, why certain actions occur, why certain steps are being taken, why people behave in a certain manner. It's theory. Do you understand? So theories are like what explain the mystery behind certain actions. Do you understand? So this is what we're going to study here today. The theories that explain peace and conflict is what we are going to look at today here. So if you join us, do way to share the link to the WhatsApp group. If you're online, you can even share the link to the WhatsApp group. Let many people join. You can share it to your groups on Facebook. You can put it on your timeline. Let as many people as can participate in the training join. Zakaria Jibril from Bauchi, thank you for connecting. And Apagu, thank you for joining us from Meduguri. Thank you. All right, so let's proceed to look at it. We have announced the topic. The topic today is peace and conflict theories. So let's look at what it's all about. All right. So we have some learning objectives. What are our learning objectives? By the end of this unit, learners should be able to understand major peace and conflict theories. So at the end of this training, as a learner, you should be able to understand some major peace and conflict theories. Do you understand? We're not going to be exhaustive. We're not going to explain all the theories, but we will explain some few of them that can help you to, apply them wherever you can to, resolve conflict issues or conflicting situations. And then we have another objective here for you to be able to explain the assumptions behind key theories of conflict and peace. What are those assumptions? What are the thoughts? What are the mysteries behind certain theories? Do you understand? You have to explain them. You have to at least understand and explain. And then apply peace and conflict theories to real life situations and case studies. So how do you turn these theories to real life situation to help you to solve problems is what we are looking at today. All right. So like I say, if you are joining us, please do way to share the link, let others also join and then be part of the meeting as well. All right. So thank you once again. All right. So this is what we're going to, we expect you to, understand in this training at the end of this. So let's introduce the unit. Peace and conflict theories help us to explain why conflicts occur. All right? Peace and conflict theories help us explain why conflicts occur in the first place, how they escalate, how the conflicts move from the originating stage to a very intense stage. Do you understand? And what are the conditions necessary for sustainable peace? All right. So this is what we're going to consider here today. We say that peace and conflict theories help us to explain why conflicts occur. That's one. how they escalate, that is two, and what conditions are necessary for sustainable peace. These theories provide analytical lenses for policymakers. I believe we have policymakers in our midst here. Peace practitioners, we have so many of them. We have so many peace ambassadors joining us here today. Some of them are members of our own institute. Do you understand? And then we have mediators, right? So many people have been mediating issues, whether professionally or non-professionally. They have been participating in mediating issues. Do you understand? So we have so many of you connecting with us here, and then scholars to diagnose what conflict and design appropriate intervention. So these theories provide analytical what lenses for policymakers, peace practitioners, mediators, and scholars to diagnose conflict and design appropriate intervention. So we are going to look at it. First and foremost, we want to find out why conflicts occur. Why do we experience altercations in a situation where are supposed to be friendly, right? How do we move conflict from its origin point to a point whereby it becomes so intense? Do you understand? And what conditions are necessary for sustainable peace? So we're going to examine this and we examine them together, right? So key concepts and theories. Let's look at them. All right. First theory on our list here, we have what we call the human needs theory. The human needs theory. It was propounded by John Bolton. Do you understand? The theory was propounded by John Bolton. Do you understand? Human needs theory. If you can hear me, I want to see it paraphrased in our comment section. First theory we are going to examine today is called the human needs theory, propounded by John Bolton. Do you understand? Yeah, human needs theory. Human needs theory. All right. What is it? What is the core idea about human needs theory? What is the theory all about? What is the theory talking about? Let's look at it. The theory believes that conflict arises when fundamental human needs are denied. Are we together now? The theory postulates that conflict arises when fundamental human needs are denied. That is to say, if my human needs, for instance, like my freedom is being denied, then I am going to protest. Do you understand? I am going to protest because I cherish my freedom and I will do everything possible to protect my freedom. And when my freedom is being tampered with, when there is that attempt on my freedom, I am going to protest. All right? I am going to fight back. Do you understand? Yes, the button here is Burton. It's not button, it's button. All right. So now that is it. So now, when human needs are being denied, you will see them reacting. And most of the times they react negatively. And it's a reason for conflict. When your needs are denied, definitely you are going to react. Who among us here that your needs will be denied that you remain quiet? I don't think there's anybody here. Right? Because when they say don't talk, don't speak, but you must speak because God created you and give you mouth and voice to speak. And then somebody say don't speak. How possible is that? You must speak. Do you understand? And if If it means that you will speak anyhow and by whatever channel and whatever means available for you to speak, you speak. Do you understand? You know, even unlike interest, let's move forward. Unlike interest, human needs are non-negotiable and are universal. All right? Freedom to life. If you see that something is coming to buy you, will you stand and wait that that thing should buy you? No. You will not allow it to kill you. You'll find a way to defend yourself. Something we may call self-defense. Do you understand? You will defend yourself. Am I lying? So human needs are non-negotiable and are universal. All right? That is, you say freedom to life is a need for everybody. All right? You have the right to live. So, and you must live. Do you understand? So it is a need. We have need for shelter. It's a basic need. We have need for food when somebody is hungry, is he can get angry. That's what they say. A hungry man is an angry man. A hungry man is what? An angry man. So when somebody does not have access to food, they will be angry. They can kill, they can steal, they can do all manner just to get food to eat. Do you understand? Because their needs has not been provided. Their need has not been met. So once your need is not met, then you are going to react in a negative manner, and that can cause conflict. Do you understand? So let's look at some of the basic human needs that we mentioned here. One, the issue of identity. All right, the issue of identity. I am a black man, and so if you want to take a decision to block black people from accessing a certain place, I am going to protest, of course. If you say, okay, in this class you don't want black people, then I'm going to protest because I'm a human. My skin doesn't matter. My color doesn't matter. Do you understand? So I must find myself there. So you cannot discriminate against me on the basis of my color. Do you understand? So I must have access to the class. Do you understand? And it doesn't matter the language I speak. Do you understand? Whether I speak German or whether I speak Spanish, whether I speak French, whether I speak English. Do you understand? It doesn't matter whether I speak Latin or I speak Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim. I shouldn't be denied a job opportunity. Do you understand? I shouldn't be denied a job opportunity based on my identity as a Christian or as a Muslim. Do you understand? I should be cared for just like any other person. Because if the job is good for the Muslim, it should be also good for the Christians. If a job is good for a Christian, it should be also good for the Muslims. Do you understand? So it is for everybody. So no one should be denied opportunity. No one should be dominated. And that is why in most cases, when domination is trying to play a card, you see that conflict comes out. People struggle the protests. Do you understand? That's what it is. Because on the basis of your identity, you shouldn't be denied certain opportunities on the basis of your identity, because your identity is your basic need. And no one can deny you that identity. You are an African, you are an African. You are a white, you are white. Do you understand? So that's why it is. You are a Negro, you are a Negro. Do you understand? You are a Latino, you are a Latino. There's nothing we can do about it. Do you understand? Should we discriminate you based on the basis of that? No. Because Your identity is your need. My identity is my need. Do you understand? So whenever people are being denied the opportunity of their identity, that is recognizing their identity, then it becomes a problem. They protest. Another basic human need is security. All of us, need security. We desire security. That is why we are making noise. Oh, why is it that the government is not protecting its citizens? Why is it that there's killing and kidnapping and all manner of things? One chances issues in Abuja and other places happening, and it seems that nothing is being done about it. Do you understand? So these are the issues we all need our security. That's why whenever you are going, if you are privileged to be a millionaire, a billionaire, some of you carry security along. All right. Yeah, some of us in churches will carry anointing oil, put on our head, pray every day for protection. Do you understand? All of us want security. So when your security is being tampered with, you react. You respond in a manner that it is that's why even sometimes when you are even about to involve in, okay, for instance, now maybe somebody attempted to hit your car. You see the way you'll be reacting. You are reacting not because your car was going to be hit, but you couldn't tell what will happen if the car hits you. Maybe you will lose your life. So you are trying to protect yourself, just like you see, if you see what do you call it? If you see is it iguana or what? They have a shield, they have a shield. If once they sense danger, they just withdraw in their shield, just like a snare. Once a snare sense any danger, they withdraw back into their shield. Do you understand? So that's why it is, and that's how it is. Security is very, very important. We all need our security. We don't want to die. Do you understand? That's why in conflict zones, people leave those areas because they don't want to be, keep a kid. Their safety, security, very, very important. And security is not just about the security of life. What about security of job? You are given a job, but you want to be sure whether this job you are protected. Will you just will they just wake up and then sack you one day? You are worried about that. Do you understand? Yeah, you're worried, and that's why sometimes when people feel that there's no job security, they can do all manner of things just to make sure that they protect their job. Do you understand? That's what it means. So security is very, very important. So then another human need is recognition. Recognition. We all need recognition. That is a social need, a sense of belonging, a sense of what? Belonging. Nobody wants to be segregated. Nobody wants to be marginalized. Nobody wants to be excluded. Do you understand? Recognize me. Let me also have that sense of belonging. Do you understand? So, about when somebody is being excluded, then they feel that their right has been denied. Do you understand? So we have to recognize everybody. We must carry everybody along. It's a human need. It's a social need, but it's very, very important. A sense of belonging is very, very important. Then participation, giving people opportunity, to show what they have, to contribute their own quota. You understand? Nobody should be denied the opportunity of participation. And that is why we are leaving our course free, open for everybody to participate. And that's why we are encouraging you, share it for others to also join. All right. If we say it's a pay course, some people may not be able to afford it. So we say it's a free course. Many people are here. Do you understand? So um it's participation. Participate in the training, participate in conflict resolution in your community. If there's a matter of concern, participate. If by prevention we finish this training, I say, okay, go and do a particular awareness in your community. You can go and do awareness in your community, educate people, and then of course freedom is also another important. Nobody wants to be incarcerated. Nobody wants to deny the opportunity of freedom of worship, freedom of association, freedom of life to live or to life or whatever, freedom of association. No, you can identify with whatever. Do you understand? But when that is being denied, then you see conflict. That's why most of the time you see there are issues like religious conflict, because it seems as if someone's faith is offending another's faith, which is not supposed to be so. We're supposed to exercise tolerance, knowing too well that we cannot all be in one place. Do you understand? So why should we fight on the basis of the fact that I am exercising my freedom by identifying with my faith? And why should I be afraid of identifying with my faith because you are there, because you hold another faith? It shouldn't be so. Do you understand? Subsistence is also a need. That is things like food, shelter. Do you understand? All right. They also need. Do you understand? They are basic need. Shelter, food are basic need. Like I said before, when you don't have a shelter, when you are homeless, you are destitute. You can do anything to put a roof on your head. All right. And that's why you see some people under the bridges in the cities. Those people are not happy. Do you understand? And they can do all manner to get money just because they want to live a comfortable life. Do you understand? And that's why if you are privileged to help. Food. You have opportunity to share food, share. There are people that cannot go even 1 square meal a day. So if you have the privilege to reach out to them, reach out to them. Do you understand? It's very important. So otherwise, those guys, that's why in our cities, if you want to mobilize people for protest now, it's going to be easy because there are several people that are out there. They don't have job. They are not busy. So anything can keep them busy, even if it means protest. Do you understand? So that's it. So let's look at some of the key assumptions of this theory. What are the key assumptions of this theory? One of the assumptions of this theory is that suppressing human needs leads to frustrations and violent conflict. Suppressing human needs leads to what? Frustration and violent conflict. You say someone, you deny somebody a particular opportunity and right, and you still do not want that person to speak. I can tell you that the day the person will speak, they will speak the language of violence. The day they will speak out of frustration. And of course, they are going to speak very badly. They are going to respond in a manner that you will not believe it. That's why there are some people you see that maybe sometimes you hear issues like husband key wife or wife key husband, because maybe someone maybe must have been suppressing somebody, and it's get to a point that the person cannot take it any longer. So what do you expect? You expect the reaction, and the reaction is going to be negative. It's going to be violent. Another assumption is that peace is sustainable only when these needs are met. Peace is sustainable only when these needs are met. You cannot guarantee people's security. You cannot protect people's identity. You cannot include people in the affairs of the state. You cannot give people opportunity to participate. Look at what happened in Tanzania. Look at what happened in Uganda. How can you say people should not participate in a democratic election and you are practicing democracy that is anchored on participation, and you say people should not participate? You deny the opposition opportunity to participate. What sort of democracy is that? You use the military to chase your opposition. You use the court, the institution of government that's supposed to protect the people, to even hunt your opposition. So what do you expect? They will react. If the people of Uganda, if the people of Tanzania wanted to react, it would have been so bad. If they did not exercise caution, I can tell you, maybe by now we would have said that Uganda is in turmoil and Tanzania is in chaos. Do you understand? Because of what happened. Are we together? So you can only achieve sustainable peace when the security of people is guaranteed, when their identity is protected, when they are given opportunity to contribute their quota, when their freedom is guaranteed, when they have a means of livelihood. When people don't have a means of livelihood, they can't do anything to survive. Even if the means to kill somebody to survive, they will do it. But that is not what it's supposed to be. So when somebody doesn't have what will keep them busy, then they can do anything to live. That's why I told you that they say that an empty mind is a devil's what? Workshop. So engage people. Engage people. Let them be busy. So they will not think evil any longer. They will not think evil. They will not think kidnapping. They will not think banditry. They will not think terrorism, because they have been engaged. Engage them positively. Create job opportunities for young people. Do you understand? If you want to achieve sustainable peace, but where there is high rate of unemployment, where there is insecurity, where there is, injustice, then definitely you're going to see conflict in place. Another assumption of this theory is that force cannot eliminate conflict rooted in unmet needs. No matter how you use force, if you like, empty all the barracks, empty all the police barracks, the military barracks, empty all the paramilitary, let them, all of them, enter the street to stop people that are protesting because of unmet needs. I can tell you for sure that they cannot be able to stop them. They cannot be able to eliminate the conflict. Do you understand? So using force, you are wasting your time. If really the people want to do it, they will do it. How many Nigerian militaries do we have? How many officers of army do we have? That is a combination of the navy, the army, the navy, the air force, the paramilitary. How many of them do we have in this country? If the people of Nigeria want to protest, how many are they to stop it? No measure of force, no amount of weapon. Or are you saying you kill your people? Or simply because you want to remain in government, you want to suppress people? I can tell you that no amount of force is enough to eliminate conflict. Are we together? Yeah. No, 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 no. No amount of force. whatsoever. It doesn't matter. If you like, carry the missiles, the ballistic missiles, carry the bombs, whatever, you cannot still stop when people want to create change that is rooted on in unmet needs. All right. That I'm telling you, I saw something yesterday. For those of you that work with the NEPA, the NEPA, we call them National Electric, electricity distribution companies. You people, how can someone buys a transformer, buys wire, buys even the poles to connect electricity in their community, and then you collect the bills? After they connect finish, you now buy, that is, you buy transformer, you buy the cables, you buy the poles, you connect finish, then NEPA people will come and collect bills. When the transformer spoil, they will ask you to pay money for them to come and repair. If you damage Kubadaya, they will ask you to buy another one for replacement. Cable, the same thing. What kind of operation is that? Have you, I think it's only in our system here that we see that kind of operation. How possible it is that we have so much? I don't understand the concept. Does it mean that, I don't know why it is so that we have to do it that way in Nigeria? I don't know whether it's so. And those of you that are in Kenya, those of you that are in South Africa, those of you that are from Namibia, those of you that are from Uganda, those of you that are from South Sudan, is that how you do it in your own country? I just want to know, because in my own country, that's how it happens. If your transformer spoil, they'll ask you to come and to buy, do you understand? To buy transformer, the community people will contribute money to buy transformer. After you buy it, NEPA people will come and collect money, collect bills. Do you understand? So what kind of a system is that? So for those of you that are from Kenya, can you share with us, is that how it's happening in Kenya as well? In South Sudan? In Namibia? What is the situation with your own country? Let me know whether it's African matter. Do you understand? So youth militancy in the Niger Delta can be linked to unmet needs for recognition, participation, and other matters. Do you understand? They were not allowed to. They were excluded. They were not recognized. And so the youth in Niger Delta then gathered and began to protest. They protested, and their protest was destroy the pipelines. They were destroying it. Oil pipelines. There was oil bungarees. They were just doing all manner until Yaradua gave them what we call amnesty program. Amnesty program was organized by Yaradua, and that situation was redeemed. The likes of Asari Dokobo, the likes of Tompolo, they are all product of the Yaradua amnesty program. And today they are doing well because to some point, to some extent, they were carried along. They were recognized. Their existence was recognized. And so now today, you see, people like Tompolo, they have security company that is protecting the oil pipelines in the Niger Delta. Do you understand? So someone, Mark Abi, is saying that in the case of electricity in Nigeria, that is the reason you see community people beating up NEPA staff often experience, because that's it. Do you understand? That's why they are reacting. How can I pay? How can I buy transformer, buy wire, buy everything, and then you still come to Kolebi, you are still even talking to me like, do you understand? And then they will beat you. So why won't they beat you? Do you understand? So these are the issues. So that is it. All right. So no amount of force can suppress people. So that is it. So let's move forward. Let's move forward. So this is what look at the diagrammatic explanation. We say that unmet human needs leads to what? Frustrations and alienation, and that leads to what? Grievances, and then that results to what? Conflicts, all right, or violence. See what we are saying here. See the diagrammatic explanation. We say that unmet needs, human needs, will always lead to what? Frustrations and what? Alienation. And that will lead to what? Grievances and depression. People hold grudges. They keep, it keeps burning. They keep burning inside. Do you understand? Until one day they will now demonstrate that frustration and grievances on you. Conflict. That's why when it choke the community people, they will beat the NEPA staff. You understand? Whenever they are choked, and that is, they get to a point that they cannot take it anymore, they will beat you. They will even kill. There are some communities that even kill NEPA officials. They beat them mercilessly. Do you understand? On account of these things. So, but we are not saying that people should do that. You must find a better way of resolving the problem. We are not advising you to go and beat people because of this. But I think that that arrangement should change. That arrangement should change. There's no need why community people will pay money for wire, for pole, for transformer. After all of that, then they will have to, pay for unit. You understand? You can imagine. If I'm doing a taxi business, I will say that, okay, I have a car, the car has a bad tire. If you want me to carry you, you have to fix the bad tire. Then you have to buy fuel before I'll take you to your destination. How about now? How possible is that? That is it. Let's move forward. We're going to look at the second theory. The second theory is what we call structural conflict theory. Structural conflict what? Theory. The theory was propounded by Johann Galton and Karl Marx, right? They influenced the theory in one way or the other. Do you understand? Even the meter we paid for the journey say, even the meter we pay for, and that is the truth. We pay for the meter. Do you understand? So everything. Okay, somebody's trying to tell us the situation in Namibia. In Namibian context, it's almost the same thing happened, but once it's damaged, it is the responsibility of the electricity company to repair. Otherwise, they change everyone using the electricity. At least their own is better. At least to replace, they will come and replace, even if the community first and foremost purchase it. So that kind of a thing. Do you understand? So, yeah. So it's true. So we're looking at the second theory, and we're talking about structural conflict. Structural conflict. All right. What is the core idea of structural conflict? Conflict is embedded in social, political, and economic structures that create inequality, injustice, and exclusion. Now, listen to this one very well. This one is very strong. Structural conflict. You say conflict is embedded in social, political, and economic structures that create inequality, injustice, and exclusion. Now, listen to this. When political appointments are being carried out, When President Muhammad Buhari came into power, the way he carried out some political appointments, they looked like this, and it was, it did not sit well with others. The current administration is also doing the same thing to some extent. Do you understand? And so it's still not being okay with other people. So now the political appointment is creating inequality, it's causing exclusion. And this is an injustice to certain group of people. And that's why they are protesting. That's why they are criticizing the government. That's why they are raising their voice up. Now, when when this government came into power, instead of having the same party or the people, it seems to me that they say that if Buhari, the past administration, use use a cane to flog us, the citizens, they are going to use koboko to flog us. Do you understand? If Buhari used cane to flog us, they are going to use koboko to flog us. That is, the dollar is not only high, but even the fuel that we were managing 200 naira at during Buhari administration, they say subsidy is over. Fuel is now dancing between 1,000 to 800 thereabout. Do you understand? Per liter. So what kind of economic policy is that? And there's nothing to stabilize it. Even the CNG thing that they brought, if you want to do it, you have to queue for days. That's why some of us cannot even dare to convert our car, because I suffered. It's better I should be buying high fuel at high cost than to go and queue up because I want to refill my CNG gas. I can't do that. I don't have that time to queue up again like that. Do you understand? In those days, I used to sleep in the filling station and all those things. Now, yeah, these are the economic situations, and this has plunged people into poverty, has caused businesses to close down. All right. And this has also created inequality in the system, so much so that the rich get richer. The government appointees are always flying vehicles up and down, flashy cars, while the people are getting poorer. That is why crime is so much in our society today, because some of the crimes that are happening out of frustrations. Do you understand? Some of the banditry activities are happening as a result of frustration. Some of the terrorist activities are happening out of frustration. Some of these kidnapping and killings that you are seeing are happening out of frustration. Some are even economically inclined. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about here. Structural conflict. Because some of these things, somebody is giving me the example of the appointment at the CBN. Do you understand? So that is one of those things. The recent appointment, the CBN directors that were being appointed, you see, is giving a sense, it's a concern to other people. So let's look at some forms of structural violence. Let's look at some forms of what? Structural violence. Economic inequality. How do you compare? Look at the politicians with the academians. People who are in academics, they have studied, they have school studied and do a manner of things. Have PhD, have professors, but a politician who is just maybe a degree holder, maximally, is getting much more than what a professor is getting. How do you reconcile that? So why should academic standard improve? Tell me. Why should the professor waste his time so much to carry research to make sure that academic standard improves, when he himself is thinking about how he will feed his own family? After all the years of research and all of that, you now have professorship, but yet you cannot feed your family. But somebody who is just a degree holder, holds a political position, is flying, the kind of cars, the kind of convoys, they carry saline, carry police, carry this one. How do you balance that kind of a thing? How do you explain that? Why won't you get angry? Why can't you say, you can say, I can tell you for sure that is why there is even exploitation in some universities. A lecturer can tell you want to pass my course, you have to pay me. I don't pass people for free. In fact, if you want to get A, you have to pay me. If you want to get your research, you want to get B, you have to pay me. Do you understand? Even my study manual that is supposed to be free, you have to pay for it, because I must get money to feed my family. I get a point now. So some of these things are happening as a result of what? Economic inequality. Unequal distribution of resources is what is causing problem. And that's why, whenever you see a professor who is in academics giving a political appointment, hey, they do all that, they make sure that they will also get whatever they get. That's why when you give them returning officers in INEC, that is their opportunity to hammer. INEC returning officers, it's them that they appoint now. So they must do everything to get it, because that is their opportunity to meet up. They will say the opportunity comes but once. So today is their opportunity. So they are going to grab it. That's why you see a lot of them mess up during elections, because it's an opportunity for them to grab something. Economic inequality, everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants to live good. But in other environment, it's not like that. If you look at it in countries like Iceland, there's equal distribution of resources. That's why crime is low. There's no hike. The prisons are not working. The court is not working because there are no cases to take to court. The prisons are empty because there's no crime. You put something here and it will remain there. You come and carry it. Nobody cares. Do you understand? Oh my God. You put money on the street and nobody touches it. Why? Because they have enough. But here in our system here, you don't even need to put money on the street for anybody. Put in your bank account. Then scammers will come for you. They are doing everything to scam you, to remove money out of your bank account. You can imagine. Economic inequality. It's a form of structural conflict. Another one is political marginalization. Political what? Marginalization. What? Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones. Nigeria has about 36 states. Now, let's look at it. We have 200 federal appointments. Why can't we distribute this appointment evenly? We have major tribes. Let's not even go to the area of tribes. Let's just focus on the states. Do you understand? Let's say we have 200 federal appointment jobs to be appointed, or 1,000, and then we have 36 states. Why can't we distribute it evenly so that each state will carry a certain amount of appointments? Okay, say a certain number of appointments. Say, okay, let's say 100 appointment pay each state. Are we going to cry? If, okay, let's take for instance now that, okay, Mr. President is from which state? Let's say Lagos State, right? Then Mr. Vice President is from, you know, is from Borno State. Yes. The speaker is from Kaduna. The Senate president is from Akwa Ibom. Do you understand? So now these are the key positions. Now, after the key position has been taken, we have the ministerial appointment, we have the DG's appointment, we have the ND's appointment, we have state directors, chief justice appointment. All those appointments are there. Put them together, and that's the reason why federal character was established, to make sure that these appointments and even job employments are evenly distributed. But no, we are not doing that because of what this thing, and this is creating structural imbalances, even in employment. Even, let me tell you, even in the military, even in the police, even in the immigration, even in civil defense, even in civil service, you will discover that there are certain regions that are more employed than others. Why? Now, sometimes if we talk now, they'll talk about on the issue of population issues. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, if it's population, okay, let's maintain the arrangement of population. But if you go deep into it, you discover that even that is not maintained. So why? You see, one of our ambassadors is talking now. He said that one of the students that he taught in the university is a commissioner, going about with flashy cars, and even some staffs following along, but him is just grappling with some bees. Do you understand? Just you can imagine that. So this is what is, so these are the structural imbalances that are causing what? Conflict. All right. So unequal access to education and healthcare. In fact, our own here, the politicians don't even go to hospitals in Nigeria. Once they have opportunity, like governors, senators, House of Reps members, presidency, all those high profile appointees, their treatment is outside Nigeria. You understand? All those elected officials, their appointment, their medical care is outside Nigeria. Do you understand? That to tell you how decayed the system is. Nothing concerns them. So unequal access. So people feel that, even in education, most of them in government positions today, their children are outside Nigeria schooling. Do you understand? That is why they don't care about the educational system in Nigeria, whether it's decaying or is, so that their children will go and come back and then become the leaders. I heard that the FCT minister's son is contesting for House of Reps. He did not graduate in Nigeria. I get the point now. So these are the issue. So why won't we be having conflict? Discriminatory laws and institutions. Do you understand? All right. So this is it. There are some people in this country that they are above the law. There are some people in this country, they are above the law. And another evil thing that happened in my own country so much is that if you are in a governing party, then you are safe. Even if you crime and your sins as red as a scarlet, you are still going to be exempted. But if you're not in a ruling party, what happened? They will chase you with EFCC. That is their hunt dog. They will use it and frustrate your life. We are not encouraging anybody to go and steal. If you steal, face it. That's none of my business. If you steal, face it. But it should be applied equally. It doesn't matter whether you are in the governing party or not. Face what you created. Do you understand? Face it. So there's no reason why the law should be discriminated, where others are exempted, why others should be punished. So discriminatory laws and institutions are the drivers of conflict. That is what um you know in Artimidio audio say. So that is it. That is it. They are drivers of conflict. They drive it like fire. So what are the key assumptions? So let me try and rush. My time is already up. All right. Key assumptions. Conflict is not always caused by individuals, but by unjust what system? Unjust system. That is, the system is so unjust that you cannot just hold back. You have to react. You have to respond to it. Do you understand? When you face injustice, what do? You have to react, respond. Violence can exist even without physical fighting. Do you understand? Violence can exist even without physical fighting. That is, you may not fight, you may not even shoot a gun, but I can tell you that fight is ongoing. Violence is ongoing. Do you understand? Peace requires transforming unjust structures. Transformation. That is conflict transformation. You have to transform the structure, the imbalanced structure. You have to create a balance in the structure. Do you understand? You have to remove the imbalances. You have to uproot the imbalances and then create a balanced structure that can promote peace. There are certain things that we do in Nigeria. Like I told you yesterday, even our constitution needs to be rewritten. That is, if we rewrite our constitution, it will be the number one solution of this country. If we have the love of this nation at heart, we can call for a national reconciliation. Hey, the Yorubas come, the Igbos come, the Hausa Fulanis, the thieves, tea people come. All the tribal leaders come. Let's discuss our problem. Why are we not uniting? Why are we fighting ourselves? All the religious leaders come. Let's talk. Let's do away with certain practices. Let's do away with certain discriminations. If we know that we are serving one God, then why do we fight? So, then we should be able to know that, okay, who is really not a believer? A believer is not the person that is a person that does not believe in God. We should consider that to be a believer, not someone that say that I am a Christian or I am a Muslim. Because they are believers. But maybe there's somebody that is not a believer, maybe atheist. All right, it's not a believer. So that should be the person you should be looking out to bring him to come and join you and believe in what you believe in. Not when the believers themselves are fighting on the basis of the differences of their faith. That is I don't understand. Nomenclatures. You are a Muslim, I'm a Christian, but who are we all worshiping? Are we worshiping the real God who created all of us? And if that is it, why are we fighting? Why do we face conflict between Christians and Muslims? Doesn't make sense. It's not. Let's look at it. So, Galton's violent triangle. He said that cultural violence right? Leads to structural violence, and it leads to what? Direct violence, right? So from cultural to structural to direct violence. Do you understand? So let's look at Lilly's theory of conflict. The Lilly's theory of conflict. Lilly's theory of conflict. What's the core idea? Conflict is inevitable because states act in their self-interest in an anarchic what international system. Conflict is inevitable because states act in their selfish interest in an anarchic international system. Now, the international system is anarchical. Do you understand? The international system is what? Anarchical. That is in nature. The international system is anarchical. Why is it anarchical? It's anarchical because all the state actors are acting for their own selfish interests. I get a point now. They are acting for their own selfish interests, not for the interests of anybody but their own interests. I get a point now. If the United States of America is speaking, they're speaking for their interests. If Israel is speaking for her own interests. If Iran is speaking, it's for their own interests. Russia, Turkey, France, UK, Germany, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Brazil, Ukraine, all of them are speaking for their own self-interest. And when this interest is clashed, when this interest is threatened, what happens? They act in a rude manner. They act in a crude manner. That's why we call it that the international system is anarchical in nature. That is why the president of the United States of America will order for the arrest of a Venezuelan president. Why? Because they want to protect their international interests. Do you understand? They want to protect their interests, whether you call it a security or whatever. Because it was done on the basis of security issue. Say, oh, this guy is pushing, supporting drug cartels to push drugs into America, is affecting the psychology of the American people, so we need to deal with him. You understand? But after arresting him, so many other things came out. Oil issues, matters. Russia tankers are even loaded the oil that were taken back to Russia. They have to pursue after them and confiscate the oil and return them back to America. Do you understand? That is it. That is the force, the use of force. That's why America will order its ships and its army down to the Middle East to go and face Iran and force them to come to the negotiating table and tell them, don't produce nuclear weapons. We don't want you to have it. We know if you have it, one day you woke up and say, to hell with everybody in this world. We are going to destroy everything. So they don't want Iran to have the voice, because they know that if they have nuclear weapons, they are going to have a voice. And so they want to stop them by all means. That's why when they notice that they are advancing at it, they will go and cause trouble and destroy it and return them back to square one, kill their scientists, and make sure that they are not having it. That is selfish interest. If you have nuclear weapons, why don't you want others to have nuclear weapons? Why should you be the only person to have nuclear weapons? Because they want to remain the world powers. Do you understand? If you have it, why shouldn't you think that another person should have it as well? If you have it, I can equally have it. If I have the capacity, why not? If I have the resources, why not? But because, like what we said earlier, human needs, one of the human needs is security, right? And so the leaders of these countries believe that there are certain people, because of natural hatred, semantic issues, all right? If they have this thing, one day they woke up and clear. If Iran have nuclear weapons, one day they woke up and look at Israel and say, you are a cockroach in the midst of fowls, so we need to eliminate you. And they can use it. It's possible. They may, in fact, they can use it. So that's why they're doing everything possible so that they will not have it. You see the other guy, he doesn't even relate with anybody. He mind his business. What is that his name? That short guy in North Korea. The guy doesn't relate. He doesn't relate at all. He doesn't belong to any international organization. Nothing concerns him. He does whatever he wants to do. If he wants to test his ballistic missile, he doesn't need permission from anybody to test it. He will fire, the other time he fired one that landed in American territory. Do you understand? He doesn't care. He doesn't even travel anyhow. Guy. Oh. So, but that's it. But that's the realist theory. It's so anarchical. Do you understand? The international, every state. In fact, realist is being is a kind of a system that is being played out by the states, not individuals. It's state actors. States are the actors. Do you understand? Country versus countries. Do you understand? That's it. So what are the examples of realist issues here? Arm race between rival state. Arm race. Do you understand? This is what I was talking about. Ukraine, Iran, and America. America say you don't need to produce nuclear weapons. We will not allow you to have it. You will not have it. Iran say we are going to have it too. In fact, we are even close to having it. In fact, we have it. America said, "No lie, you don't have it." Do you understand? Cold War rivalry between the USA and the USSR, that is the former Soviet Union. All right. Now let's look at key assumptions of this theory. States are the main actors. Yes. Power and security are primary goals. Power and security are primary goals. So of course, America is doing everything possible to protect itself because they know that there are certain countries that doesn't like them. And so if they happen to produce the kind of weapon that they have, one day they wake up and destroy them. Do you understand? So they are doing everything to show that they show that they are war powers and they can use that to keep you where you are, where they want you to be. Do you understand? So peace is maintained through balance of power or deterrence. Do you understand? Peace is maintained through balance of power or deterrence. Now, assuming that when America wanted to take Maduro and they could not because maybe Maduro has military capability to balance the situation, to resist the American armies, do you know what would have happened? America would have been careful with Venezuela now. Do you understand? But when they fail so easily, it means that they have nothing to talk now. Even some of the military equipment that they got from Russia, China, could not save them, could not help them. That is, America used their own advanced technology to silence them. Do you understand? So that's to show you that America is a very powerful nation. That's why other nations, when they saw it, they adjusted quickly. Even Iran, when they were being so tough, when the matter became so serious, they say, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. Do you understand? They are talking now. They are talking now. I think the last meeting, it was held in Oman on Friday, right? Because America already packed everything and was going to Middle East. They were making out that we bomb all your bases in the Middle East. Nothing concerning America. They were just going until they say, "Hey, come, let's talk." The matter has not gotten to that level now. Come, let's talk first. Do you understand? So now it shows that America is a great power, and then of course it will now calm other ones down. They have to be down. But now you see, when America wants to go to North Korea, when America is talking to China, when America is talking to Russia, they talk with caution. Are you getting the point now? They deal with them with caution. Why? Because they are war powers. They also have what America claims to have. So they are going to challenge America to a certain level. Do you understand? And that is the reason why America cannot go to them with the way they went to Venezuela. Do you understand? So that's the only way to maintain peace when it comes to realist theory. All right. All right. Let's move forward. I think I still have some few theories to discuss, and I have few minutes. By 8:30, we should be ending this class. So, theory number 4 is the liberal peace theory. Liberal peace theory says peace is achievable through democracy, economic interdependence, rule of law, and international cooperation. All right. So, um, under liberalism, it emphasizes cooperation, nations coming together to form what we call bilateral relations, multilateral relations, corporations. Do you understand? And then, of course, uh, nations coming together to form regional bodies like the ECOWAS, like the African Union, like the United Nations, just to form association like NATO, form association like the World Trade Organization, just to make sure that they go through these corporations to discuss peace treaties, sign agreements here and there to make sure that peace is achieved. That's what liberal peace theory is all about. It's all about cooperation. They don't believe in state actors protecting their individual interests, but it's a collective effort, right? Collective effort to solve international problems. That's why even the issue of Palestinian, when it came, so many countries voted for the statehood of the Palestine, but the fact that America holds the veto power, they were able to override that kind of decision. But you can see collectively they were able to, voice out their concern, and they were able to do something. Some of the security challenges that we were able to address in the region of West Africa was done as a result of the effort of ECOMOG. Do you understand? ECOMOG go out as a collective force to go and on peacekeeping to see that the issue in Sierra Leone, the issue in Liberia, the issue in Sudan, and several issues were addressed. Do you understand? Peacekeeping missions is part of the effort of cooperation. Do you understand, among these regional bodies? So that's why it is. So European Union as a peace project, European Union as itself as a union is for the purpose of the peace of the Europe. Do you understand? To protect the European state. Do you understand? So it's a peace project itself. And then UN peace building missions promoting elections and governance reforms around the world is part of the effort. Let's look at key assumptions. Democracies really fight each other. Do you understand? Yes, democracies really fight each other. So in democracy, that's why you see most of these democratic nations, um, America tends to be lenient with them. Do you understand? Unlike the communists and the socialists or the totalitarian government, like what we see in North Korea, what we see in China. China is a communist state, as well as I think Russia also. It's a communist state or socialist. Do you understand? And so, and these ones, America don't relate well with them. But when it's democratic nations, that is why they could rather talk about cooperation with Nigeria to solve Nigeria's security challenges rather than to use force to just come in and then destabilize. Do you understand? They want to relate well because they are democracies. Do you understand? So democracies doesn't fight each other. They cooperate. Do you understand? They cooperate. Trade and institution reduce incentives for war. trade and what institutions reduce what incentives for war. So trade agreement, bilateral, unilateral relations, or multilateral relations, or corporations are there. You use through multinational companies, they come to do things in your country, and it's go a long way to solve problems. Do you understand? So peace can be built through reforms and institution. Build strong institution like United Nations Organization, African Union, ECOWAS are those institutions that we're talking about. Then we'll talk about the IMF, the World Bank, World Trade Organizations are out there. Those are those institutions that we're talking about, and then they can help. And we have even a ECOWAS code. Do you understand? If you have a case in Nigeria that you are not able to, you did not get justice you desire, you can take it to ECOWAS. You can even take it to the International Court of Justice to seek help. Do you understand? And you actually get that help. That's how it is. So democracy plus trade plus institution will produce cooperation and stability, and that will give you peace. All right. That's how the theory is. All right. So then we'll talk about other key theories and concepts like positive and negative peace. I think we discussed this one the other time. A theory proponed by Johann Galton. It says negative peace has to do with the absence of direct violence, and then positive peace has to do with the presence of justice, equality, and happiness, social harmonies, and social relations. So this is what it is. So ceasefire represent negative peace, but sustainable peace represent positive peace. Do you understand? So this is what it is. So conflict transformation theory. This is the last one we're going to discuss for today. Conflict what? Transformation theory. Conflict transformation theory is being proponed by John Paul, all right, Ledrach. John Paul Ledrach. One of the core ideas of this theory is that conflict should not only be resolved but transformed to address root causes and improve relationship. Conflict should not only be resolved but transformed to address what root causes and improve relationship. So now, if we're having structural problem, then what this theory is saying is that we should not just solve the problem on it, but that structure that is causing us problem, we should work on it. It's the root cause. If the constitution is the problem of Nigeria, then what will solve the problem of Nigeria is to rewrite the constitution. That's the conflict transformation. Yeah, we can do everything. We can still make effort to give appointments, spread out appointments, but so far as it's not stated in the constitution, someone else will come and do it differently. So let it be written in the constitution that political appointments should be done equally according to the number of states we have. So if we have it in constitution boldly written that if government have federal appointment like 1,000 to appoint, each state should carry equal number of appointment, then you will see that the problem is solved from the roots. Do you understand? But as far as that is not stated in the constitution, anybody can come and decide to give appointment the way they want. Do you understand? The way they want it. So that's why it is. So conflict transformation is saying that don't just solve a problem, but transform it right from its root. Solve it from the root. Just create a change. Do you understand? Do a change. So let's look at the focus areas. What are the focus areas here? We have relationships, right? The essence of it all is to, create a kind of harmonious relationship. If, for instance, now we decided to say, okay, the problem of Nigeria again is that We are not united as a people. So what do we do to unite ourselves? We have to reconcile ourselves first. So let's call for a national reconciliation committee. Let's form a reconciliation commission and let it invite all the regions. Come together, select their leaders. Come, let's talk and let's solve our problems. Traditional rulers, political leaders, come, let's talk. Religious leaders, come, let's discuss what is our problem. Our problem is because of the coup that happened in the 1960s. Why should we still live with the memories of the 1960s and allow it to be haunting us in the 21st century? We shouldn't be behaving like that. Let's solve our own problem. Let's unite. What is our grievances? Let's look at it. Okay, is this our grievances? What can we do? Is there needs for justice or restitution to be done? If there's no restitution, the future together as a you understand? So that's it. But if we cannot do this, then how can we live together? Our relationship is not good. That's why if you see somebody from the east, in the north, they call him Nyamri. If you go, they are calling Nyamri Nyamri. And then somebody from the east, if you are from the east, or somebody from the north in the east, they are calling him Aboki. If they are calling him Aboki, ordinarily, Aboki in Hausa simply means a friend. Do you understand? But the way it's being called is an insult. It shows it's a foolish person. That's the essence. Aboki. If they call you Aboki, if an able man or somebody who is from the east call you Aboki, it's an insultive name, it's not a friendly name. Do you understand? It's not telling you that it's a friend. Do you understand? And then you have someone see able man call you Nyamili. Nyamili. Do you understand? All those names are there. That is not a good relationship. So we need to reconcile ourselves first so that we can have a good relationship. And this has to do with reconciliation. That is the root solution. That's a transformative way of solving our problem as a nation, to unite the nation. Do you understand? Then what about attitudes? Sometimes we need to deal with certain attitude, change certain attitude towards the north. What is your attitude towards the north? What is your attitude towards the south? You understand? How do you view some certain regions? And how are certain regions look at themselves? And how do they look at others? We have to change those attitudes. We shouldn't be looking at ourselves as, okay, this is a Fulani man. Oh, this is a T man. This is a Juku man. This is a Nidoma man. Oh, this is a Yoruba man. This is a Hausa man. Oh, this is this man. No. And of course, if we begin to view them from that end, then what that means is that our attitude towards these people will differ. It is possible that I can easily treat a fellow Fulani person, do you understand, better than I would treat another person who is not a Fulani person. Do you understand? So we need to change this attitude from the way we look at even ourselves. I shouldn't be looked at as a teen man. I should be looked at as a Nigerian. I shouldn't be looked at as a Yoruba man. I should be looked at as a Nigerian. Do you understand? So by the time we begin to look at ourselves as first Nigerian before our tribal identity comes, it's better for us. Do you understand? That's what it is. Then we'll talk about structures. Structures that are giving us problems should also change. The behavior, all right, should also be changed. So community dialogue and reconciliation can solve problems. That's what we're talking about here. So let's look at some practical focus. Case study. Step for case study application. Identify the conflict actors. Determine the root causes using relevant theories. Analyze which human needs or structures are involved. Propose peace building strategies based on theory. All right. If it's human needs theory and you identify a needs problem, solve it. Propose a solution. Propose a policy. All right. Ahead. So propose a policy to government. Propose a policy to our community leaders. It will solve the problem that's based on the theory you have studied. So first and foremost, go to your community, identify if there's a conflict, identify the actors, determine the root causes of using the relevant theory. If the needs theory you want to deploy, use it. Analyze which human needs or structure that is a problem, and then propose a peace building strategies based on the theory. Do you understand? So um, sample case, apply human needs and structural conflict theories to communal clashes in Plateau State. All right. Apply human needs and structural conflict theories to communal crashes in Plateau State can go a long way to solve problems. So that is it. So in a summary form, what have we said in this unit 3? Peace and conflict theories help explain both causes and solutions to conflict. Number 2, takeaway is that human needs theory emphasizes non-negotiable needs. Structural conflict theory highlights injustice within system. Realism sees conflict as inevitable, while liberal peace sees peace as achievable. So these are uh, the issues, and this is what we have covered in this module 1. So with this, we are done with module 1 of this course, and maybe tomorrow we'll be going into module 2, unit 1. So I want to sincerely appreciate all of you for your contribution. Appreciate you for your responses, your comments. You know, some of you are commenting so meaningfully. You understand, and it makes sense so much when we are talking about some of these things. So thank you very much, Mr. Ademola Ayodeji. Thank you. You have always been part of this program. Maswe Nwosu, thank you. Ambassador Kamadin Adio, thank you very much. Is a very patient person, very, very understanding, even in the midst of challenges. There was an error. I was expecting him to react, but he did not react. I appreciate you for your patience and your understanding, sir. If there were another person, it would have been a serious issue, but you understood, and we appreciate you. That's why you're a peace ambassador, and thank you very much for that, your effort. Autobot Odofia, thank you. Basi, thank you. Tijani Ibrahim, thank you. Ambassador Ferdinand, thank you. Ambassador Choma Wogu, thank you. Ambassador Levy Newton, thank you. Very well, thank you. Messi Moses Nedugu, thank you. Fredix Nleka, thank you. And then we have Pastor Amechi, thank you. Benjamin, thank you. Okado, thank you. Pascal Mustafa Agbalaya, thank you. Rock Studio, thank you. Katanga from Namibia, thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for being part of this meeting. Tomorrow, we are going to go to Module 2, Unit 1. And so make time to be part of tomorrow's meeting. Same time, 7 p.m. Chinenye Onyema, joining from Lagos. Thank you for being part of this training. I hope that we are learning together. Kone AK Ambassador, thank you. William Steven, thank you very much. All the way from South Sudan, we appreciate you for being part of this program. Right? Like I said, if you want to be a member of the Institute, of course, the application is ongoing. Our induction will be coming up in Lagos Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, and then for those of you that are not in Nigeria but you want to still join, you can join online and be inducted. But if you are in countries like Cameroon, countries like Zambia, we can refer you to our country coordinators there. You can start the process with them there. If you're in countries like Namibia, we can refer you to our country coordinators there. They can start with you there. Do you understand? So, and then you can become a member of the institute. So thank you very much. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful night rest. Rest well, and God bless you. All right, let me just provide my WhatsApp number in case you want to reach out to me to become a member. This WhatsApp number that I'm going to write 070. Okay, let me put, for the sake of those that are not Nigerians, plus 234 70 33 45 8730. For those of you that are not Nigerian, this is my WhatsApp number. This is directly my WhatsApp number. You can chat with me and then we will engage. WhatsApp number. So chat me on WhatsApp if you want to be a member of the institute, and I will connect with you. That's my WhatsApp number. All right. So you can chat with me and then we engage and discuss. Thank you. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.